What's up, guys? This is Corey, also known as QC Rideshare, just hitting you with another one. And so I know it's been a couple weeks since I put some new content out there, and I apologize for that. It's been a busy week. My mother's in town, so she's getting all of my attention, which I'm loving. But this week I was thinking about what I could do a video on, and I actually had a little bit hard time coming up with some content for this one. But then my wife kind of mentioned something that I think is very important for all people who are in this gig economy 1099. And I think that it's something that I see some of the comments, and I think it's a result of some of the comments that I see. I once had a boss years ago, and he used to always say this mantra, and I never understood it, and now I'm starting to understand it more as I get older. But he used to always say that in order to be successful, you have to be uncomfortable. And he used to say that because, and this was a sales job at the time. He used to tell me that because, when you go into someone's house and you have two plans, one being the affordable plan, one being the quote unquote Cadillac plan, he was like, you can always go back to the affordable plan. You need to offer the Cadillac plan every time. And it would make me uncomfortable because I would just feel as if I'm not doing, providing the best value. And he would look at me and he says, why are you making that decision? Why are you making the decision for somebody else? You need to be uncomfortable first in order to be successful. So I started doing that, and that's when I started seeing success. I say that because in this rideshare gig economy, that is a mantra that will make you successful. Now, I'm just going to really quickly go through some of the platforms that I work with, just in case there's any new subscribers, anybody's new to the channel. So I actively, I want to go through who I'm signed up with and who I actually more work. So I'm actively signed up with Uber, Lyft, Postmates, Shipped, Tackle, Instacart, and also do freelance work on the side. Now, the companies that I actively use the most are Uber, Lyft, Shipped, Tackle, and the freelance work. Now, if you notice, I said Postmates and Instacart. They're more backups for me. They're not they're not priority services that I work, and that's just based off of how I need my day to work. They're not really priorities for me, but some of these platforms aren't naturally things that I would enjoy doing. So take, for instance, I signed up for Uber in January of 2015. I took my first Uber ride in June of 2016. So if you're doing math, that's 18 months. And the reason why it took me 18 months is because I was scared to death to have anybody in my car with me, scared to death to actually drive around, and I never thought it could work. It actually took my dad, who signed up after I did and who jumped right in and seeing his success, and a coworker who jumped right in and seeing his success, for me to actually start doing it. But in order for me to see the success of working with Uber at the time and Lyft at the time, I had to make myself uncomfortable. The problem wasn't with the customer, it was with me. When I did Postmates, I had a mental block. When I started doing Postmates, I had a mental block of, I don't want to be a pizza delivery guy. I just don't. It's below me. But that was an issue I had to overcome, because in order for me to be successful, I needed to realize that money's money. And by working these platforms, I was actually making more money than doing my job with my Fortune 100 company that I was working with. When I started doing Shipped, I hated grocery shopping. And I think my wife could be a witness to that. I hate grocery shopping. But I realized there was potential, because if I hate grocery shopping and love when my wife comes home and she's done it already, then how much more are there? I mean, how many more people like me are out there who hate grocery shopping and who would love to pay somebody to go grocery shopping? So there was opportunity there, and I jumped right in. With tackle, there are chores with tackle that I had a mental block with. So electrical work, great. I have training in electrical work. I did electrical work for years, both commercial and with residential work. So there was no issue there. There was no mental block. When it came to um, doing things like mowing somebody's lawn, raking leaves, I, I like mowing my own lawn, but do I really want to be the guy mowing the lawn? Well, try to get it's an issue that I had. I had to get over that, and now I see these different jobs, and there is no mental portion that says, "Oh, this is below me." It's money's money, and if the objective is to make money when you go to work with your Fortune 500 company, or when you go to work if the objective is to make money, who cares where it comes from? As long as it's legal and you enjoy doing it, who cares where it comes from? So a lot of times you have to make yourself feel uncomfortable in order for you to succeed. So I wanted to put that out there because in the comments, a lot of times I hear this, I see it more with, not so much with the Uber and Lyft, but more with the Tackle, Shipt, and Instacart, where there's this constant argument of, are they paying enough? And I discussed in some of my review videos on Tackle, Lyft, and Shipt that these are supplemental services. These are services that can really help you and add to your greater gig economy 1099 business. So your Uber, Lyft, Tackle, Shipt, Instacart business. So, and I'll try to link in the description that video so you can check that out. But when you're doing these services, if you are there's a need to put effort in the beginning stages. So for me, there are jobs out there that are insanely appealing to me with Tackle, with Shipt. But then I also look at the larger picture of my day, of my week, of my energy level, of what I can bring to the table. So there are times when there may be a shipped order out there and there's a $20 promo, and it's a $15 order, and I know I can probably get the order done in an hour. That means before a tip, I'm already making about $35. That's awesome. I mean, but I also have to be realistic and understand that may be coming at an inconvenient time. That job I may already be tired. It may affect my opportunities with some other platforms. And so there are times when you have to say no. And I hear a lot of people who, they may not overtly say it, but you can tell are burnt out because they have taken every job. Every tackle job that's out there, they're taking it and they're on the road. You can do that for only so long. After a while, you are going to burn out. And after a while, it's not going to be fun anymore. It's going to be a typical job. So you have to plan. 50% of what you're going to make with Uber, Lyft, Tackle, Shipt, Instacart, Postmates happens in your living room before you leave the house. Because when you plan, you can make more money more efficiently. And really quick, because I know this video is already running long, I'll give you the quick example. Uber and Lyft for the longest time were the majority of where I made my money. However, there's an efficiency issue with doing Uber and Lyft full time. Because at night, on certain nights, the volume is great. But if you isolate the times when outside of that, you may be making $10 an hour. Now, over the week, your average may be $20 an hour. But 15 of those hours, you may be only making $10 an hour. Why are you doing Uber and Lyft during those isolated times that you've already realized you're only making $10 an hour? Why not do another platform that can potentially, their peak time may be during the time period that Uber's peak time isn't? And that's where some of the grocery shopping apps and tackle, that's where they work. You're not going to get a tackle job to mow a lawn at 10 o'clock at night. You'll get a lot of Uber rides. Same thing with Shipped. You're not going to get grocery shopping jobs at 10 o'clock at night. You'll get Uber rides. So if you start isolating when each app is at its peak, you will notice that you're working Uber and Lyft during a time period where you're going to make the most money in the most amount of time. You're working Shipped, Instacart, and Postmates during a time period where you're going to make the most amount of money during that time. And same thing with Tackle. So by doing that, just by planning, you may work the same amount of hours, but you made more money because you planned properly. So that's a couple things I want to say. I figured I could go long this week just because I didn't hit you with one last week. But quick shout out to all the new subscribers. We got a ton of new subscribers. I thank you all. Thank you to Toya ATL and Uber Lady Charlotte. You guys are great. I mean, I consider both of you friends, and I appreciate all your comments and support. And if you haven't checked out their channels, I'll definitely put a link in the description for them. Also, Uberman. I'm still waiting for Uber Eats here. I'm sorry, Uberman, Uber Dude. I'm still waiting for Uber Eats here in Charlotte, so I can kind of talk about my experiences with you. But I appreciate everything you do because you break down Uber Eats like no one else, and you are excellent at what you do. So now also leave a link to his channel as well. But hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know. I know that I talked to one of my subscribers. He wanted me to go ahead and do more videos on like how I grind, how I get down, and those are a little bit harder because it literally takes an all-day recording after every stop and everything. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to work on another one of those so you can see, because it has changed. I have evolved in the way that I do my business now. So let me know what you think. Also, I am going to be hitting you guys up with a rideshare budgeting, I'm sorry, a gig economy budgeting video. I know that's not the most, I would say the most sexiest topic. However, it's one of the most crucial topics, especially since we're almost halfway through the year. So, you know, you just finished your taxes coming up again. So until the next one, peace.